Welcome back everyone, Oz here. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. And today we're taking a look at r/IDontWorkHereLady. Angry mother screams in my face and tries to get me fired by my mother. Okay, so this happened 2 years ago when I was 15. My mom was working at a store in the town I used to live in as an assistant manager. I would visit her often with my dad while she was at work, often helping out and talking to the cashiers on shift while there. One day, I went by to see her after picking up my boyfriend. She was stocking the shelves when I came up behind her. "Hey mom, I'll take over this if you want to go do other stuff." "Are you sure? Where is boyfriend?" "Oh, he's just grabbing some snacks and stuff because we're gonna have a movie night." After talking about what our plans were, she got called up to the front to deal with a return. While she was up front, I decided to stock the shelves for her. A couple minutes after I started stocking the shelves, my boyfriend came over asking me if I knew where the soda is. Since I came to the store often, I walked with him to the aisle and then went back to stocking the shelves. I was finally almost done when I got an aggressive tap on my shoulder. Turning around, I was faced with an angry lady with a sunburn and a "Can I speak to your manager?" haircut. We'll refer to her as SW. Looking at her confused, I didn't know what to do. "Hello, can I help you?" "Finally! I needed you to give me the key for the changing rooms." "Oh, I'm sorry ma'am, I don't work here, yet if you ask the cashiers, they have the keys for the changing rooms." The SW started to raise her voice at me. Let me just say, I wasn't even in something that looked like the uniforms. The managers wore khakis or black pants and the deep blue t-shirt with the name on it. Cashiers wore khakis and the same t-shirts as the managers. However, I was in a gray crop top and some blue jean shorts. "Don't you lie to me, I saw you helping out the other guy earlier, and you are stocking shelves." Me, who is stuttering, "Miss, that was my boyfriend and I'm just trying to help my mom." "I don't believe you. Now give me the key, you little bitch, and stop your fucking stuttering." At this point, my boyfriend hears and comes over to see me freaked out and the SW yelling in my face. "What are you doing yelling at my girlfriend?" SW pointing at me. "She refused to help me and threatened me when I asked again." "Do you think I'm dumb? She isn't even dressed like an employee, and what do you think she's gonna do? You are like 5'11" and she's only 4'9". "Don't you lie to me too. I'm going to talk to her manager and get her fired." SW then grabs my arm and leads me to the front of the store where my mom was talking with the cashier, boyfriend following behind her telling her to stop and let me go. Once we walked by the cash register, my mom finally saw us. When she was about to ask what was going on, SW interrupted her. "This employee refused to help me, and when I asked her again, threatened to hurt me. I want her fired now." "I'm sorry, ma'am, that's my daughter and she doesn't work here." "I will ask you right now to let her go, and then I will help you." "Excuse me? This little bitch needs to be taught a lesson." "Ma'am, if you don't let her go, I will call the cops. You are obviously hurting her arm." Once my mom said this, the SW looked and she realized she was going to be in big trouble. She proceeded to let me go and bolt out the door. After she left me, my mom, boyfriend, and other cashiers had a laugh about it, while my boyfriend purchased the snacks for our movie night. The reason I was stuttering was because of some past experiences. Due to them, I am terrified of adults and people who are older than me. I am slightly better now and actually am friends with some older people now. Yet I still panic when there are adults yelling. I was Karen today. I was in the supermarket looking for my favorite brand of flavored seltzer, and I was in the seltzer aisle but couldn't find it. Some guy was stocking the ginger ale on the shelves, but he was in civilian clothes. "Do you guys sell seltzer name?" "I'm not sure, I don't work here." Glares at him unconvinced. He is clearly stocking shelves. Wants to say, "Yes, you obviously do, you're stocking shelves," but I bite my tongue. "I work for a vendor. I think supermarket sells seltzer brand, though. I've seen them in supermarket stores." "Oh, he really doesn't work here." "I have become that which I despise." Awkward interaction as a security contractor. When I was a student, I was working loss prevention for a while in a city center, but beforehand I decided to pick up my lunch from a local supermarket. I stood by the checkout about to pay, and a floor manager for the supermarket comes up to me and says, "Come with me," in a very casual tone. I tell him that I have to get my lunch paid for before my shift starts. He almost laughed as he said, "It won't take a second. so I thought he noticed that I worked locally, so he was going to give me a discount or something. He walked me to just off the shop floor, then proceeds to try to give me a telling off for being late on shift and having the gall to buy my lunch before starting. He said, "I don't know how they do it at other places you work at, but when you work at XYZ, you're expected to show up on time and ready to work." It was at this point I realized what happened. As I tried to explain, he got really aggressive, saying, "I don't want to hear it. If I want your excuses, I'll ask for them, and I'll be speaking to your contract manager." It was clear that they had contracted a security officer from another company who had not turned up. Wonder why? So the manager assumed I was the replacement. Rather than ask me, decided to give me a bollocking. I don't know why, but the way he spoke to me made me think, "F this guy. He doesn't deserve an explanation," so I just said, "Fine, I quit then," and walked off. The manager tries to backpedal, telling me to hang on, saying how he needs security on shift and he was just trying to make the ground rules clear as I was new. I just thought it'd be more fun to leave him guessing at this point. Literally the whole time I was in line for my lunch, the manager stood next to me, flip-flopping between begging me to stay and threatening to get me fired. I was initially furious when he tried telling me off, but by this point, it was killing me not to laugh in his face. I just managed to stay straight-faced and tell him how disgusted I was with his communication skills as a manager and how I refuse to work with somebody like that. And he can tell my contract manager whatever he wants. I have no regrets about winding him up about it. Then I just got to my regular shift with a funny story to tell. Apparently, it did get back to that manager through the store link, and he was mortified and got a bit of a reputation from then on as a tin pot Hitler. I've not seen him since, but for a while it became a bit of an inside joke about Tom trying to get alone time with the security guards to practice his bad cop routine. I can't just work off the clock, lady. I normally post on Tumblr, but I figured I'd try here since y'all have juicy stories. In advance, I'm sorry for formatting and typos. I'm on mobile. Brief setup. I work at Large American Superstore in the crafts and sewing department, and my boyfriend works in electronics. At that time in our employment, our managers gave us semi-matching schedules since it was near a 45-minute drive for us to get to work. This resulted in nights where I'd be off work at maybe 8 p.m., but had to wait for my boyfriend who got off work at 10 p.m. Also, because I'd be off at 8 p.m., that meant that there was no one left in my department for the night. Sometimes if a customer needs something and my boyfriend or coworker wasn't there in that second, "Hey, I work here, but I'm off the clock for tonight. I can still try and help by answering your questions if you'd like." Most people were very polite. Most. RL is rude lady, BF is my boyfriend, AM is assistant manager, SM is support manager, me, I sure hope you know that one. This specific night I got off work at 8 p.m. and sat by the electronics main counter with my coat and purse on the desk. I had my sketchbook and planned to just draw until my boyfriend got off work at 10 p.m. Some people would come up to the desk while boyfriend was helping other people, and I'd offer to answer their random questions like, "Where are the bed sheets?" or "Where are headphones?" For some reason, that night was packed. My boyfriend's coworker needed this last break, and it left my boyfriend alone. Thankfully, a support manager saw him and began helping at the register. Maybe 5 minutes later, a lady comes up with her daughter and says she needs help in crafts. The support manager asks if I was already clocked out, and I told him I was and had been for nearly an hour at that point. He told her that the only associate they had that night left at 8 p.m., but if she waited, he could help in a couple minutes. Me being nice, I told the support manager that, "Hey, if you just let me take my boyfriend over there, I can give him a baby crash course at cutting fabric that the customer needed." The support manager gave my boyfriend a pass to go, and I walked with them to help the lady out. While we're walking over, the lady starts sounding exasperated and angry that they didn't have someone here all night. Like, "Okay, rude lady, it's me. I'm that person." Anyway, we get to the table and my boyfriend has no idea what to do. I start telling him exactly how to measure fabric, from what point, where to cut from, which scissors to use, and rude lady starts getting pissed. "So, do you work here?" "Yeah, but I'm off the clock since 8. I'd do this if I could, but I can't actually do the work off company time. So you just rather waste my time instead? No, I can't do this off the clock. Someone working has to. At this point, she stopped talking and just began mouthing garbage to her kids. But I don't really care. My boyfriend finishes to label a second time because he messed up the first time and they leave. Boyfriend and I kind of just agree she seems but oh well. The oh well came the next morning. Assistant manager to me. Hey, can I talk to you about last night? Oh, yeah, why? Well, we got a customer complaint that you refused service on the clock. Do you remember that? She said you were just sitting in electronics drawing. I was over there last night, but I wasn't on the clock. Do you have any proof? They insisted you could have just helped. You could ask support manager. I asked him if I could help through boyfriend, even though I was off the clock. No one else knew how and was working. Okay, I'll check with him and get back to you. Later, because it's a busy store. Hey, I checked with support manager and you're right. It didn't really seem in character for you not to help since I've seen you off the clock helping in electronics. Just make sure you don't have your vest on and tell people you're off the clock. To be fair, I totally did tell them and I didn't even have my vest with me. Then you're free to go. Sorry people are lousy. In hindsight, I could have just let rude ladies sit there with no help at all, but no, I just had to feel generous. I'm sorry we have labor laws now. I don't have to help you when I'm off the clock. The fact I did was just me being nice. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing. And as a reminder, now that I've hit 50,000 subscribers, I am doing a Q&A on my Discord server. So if you want to ask me questions, feel free to click the link below and join in. I'll see you guys next time.